Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for August 3rd through 5th, 2020. How are you doing? Well, we're moving into the next phase of the journey, very powerfully shown to us today on this full moon in Aquarius day. This full moon in Aquarius happens with the sun and the moon in a T-square with Uranus. A T-square energy is about a change that needs to be made. It's about tension where you can't keep going the way you're going and something's got to shift. So the tension here has to do with Uranus and Taurus, the ruler of Aquarius. And this Aquarius full moon is telling us, hey, you guys, this is a shift of ages. This is shift of eons. This is a very powerful and intense time on the planet. So there you go. Here we are. And so the fixed energy is trying to support us, though, like what needs to shift in order to stabilize. Because the fixed signs, cardinal signs, are about starting something new, moving, impetus in a new direction. Mutable signs, adjusting to the winds of change. And then fixed signs, trying to establish and stabilize. And so we're trying to get a grip on what's happening on our planet to us. And this, we have no idea really what's going on. Is kind of the message I'm being shown right now. It's like, you guys, you're in the middle of it. You don't know, but you're going to look back and be like, holy crap, wow, I got to live through that time. And so this Uranus energy in Taurus is at the end, it's as far as it's going to go in Taurus this year at 10 degrees in square to this full moon at 11 degrees. And this Taurus is about our self-worth, our value system, what matters to us. And with Uranus there, it's about higher frequency vibrations trying to be infused into the earth plane, into our physical structures. And so we're kind of being asked, if it's almost like this message of like the way we stabilize into the higher frequency vibrations and get a grip is feeling worthy, right? And it brings up a lot of what we've been talking about around resistance, like our subconscious resistance to positive change, that it's even possible, right? Like there's so much like hidden programming. It looks like tentacly, like fibrous tissues grabbing, like parasitic energies just grabbing at us, this programming that's been instilled in humanity for thousands of years around whether or not we're worthy of who we really are. Right? It's like just this elaborate play to keep us from even having an idea that we're powerful spiritual beings. We're just little worker drones, slaves beings, right? And it's like, if we are going to move into the new, take one foot and step over that new paradigm, we've got to feel like it's possible and we're worthy. And those energies together is everything that's coming up. Like it's almost like every issue right now in people's lives that they're working through is pointing back to this issue, And it's a really interesting energy of like something, it's like a monster that's trying to be cleansed from our planet right now. And this has to do with the word that's coming is sacrifice, like something is required of you before you can go back to God, And this fundamental distortion is like so much programming, pain, trauma is all based on this one fundamental distortion. Everything that controls us is based on the fact that we don't have our own access to God consciousness, except for that science has now proven, quantum physics has proven that we are a particle of God, a fractal. So that God consciousness is right here. Now, this is a lot of the Aries energy, right? Aries has, of course, like all signs, has 2 octaves, right? Or multiple, right? But Aries is about fighting for life, existence, life force, right? So life force is the best example of God consciousness and the I am, right? So the higher octave of Aries energy with Mars and Aries now getting ready, it's preparing. It's not going to turn retrograde till September, but it's already in retrograde shadow and it's already starting its powerful transits. Today, the first exact for the next couple of days, the first of 9 exact powerful squares that Mars will make with the players, the powerful player planets all in Capricorn. And so it's like, this is the next phase. We've got Mars's first powerful square of 9, one of 9. It's going to be an interesting few months. You can feel the Mars energy. Mars can bring impatience and frustration, right? So Mars transits can bring irritation, irritability, frustration, like, just this, it's time to take extra patience when you're out there operating heavy machinery or driving a car. But on the other hand, Mars is about trying, this phase right now, and Mars in its journey is he's trying to claim back this life force, and this I am presence, this zest, this, if you're in that place of really connected, say in creativity or in life force, it's like, that's when or some activity that you're like out in nature, exercising. These are the things that Mars loves to do, and it's like, that's when you feel that, like, we have by birthright this massive energy of life within us, except for that the whole paradigm, the whole control energy wants to keep us in a death process, and so it's like Mars is trying to fight back for that. And Mars in Aries is that. Now, Mars, Aries, the lower octave is this like kind of feeling, it's like the lower self, right? That gets in the way of that I am presence, which is like, jealousy, judgment, anger, like just, these emotions that come up that are like, that we know. It's interesting because what's available right now in this energy is like, yes, that stuff's blooming, but it's also like, oh, that's not who I am. Though that's not who I am. There's something very powerful if we can really pay attention and be present for this Mars retrograde. Yes, there's going to be frustration and there's going to be tension, but it's like, it's all about showing us who we really are. And so this first Mars square with Jupiter, and not too far from Black Moon Lilith, really intense, because Jupiter in Capricorn is about bringing light, expansion to the structures of our lives. In square to Mars, it's about trying to expand the structures of our lives to better accommodate the I am, the life force, And so this is a very powerful energy happening exactly at this full moon in Aquarius in this T square. So it's saying, if you want to expand into that life force, into really living into this energy, then you got to feel worthy of it. We got to deal with all this monster garbage, filth on the planet that keeps us from feeling worthy of spirit and life force as humans. It's a long old story that's so embedded in our DNA, and it's gotta change. And that's what this Mars retrograde is about, And it's like we've been fighting in the battle on the battlefield against the lower energies, and Mars retrograde is like, oof, we got to find a different way of going about this. How do you fight without fighting? How do you claim your power without getting into a power battle? It's like the never-ending story, right, of how we navigate our lower karmic relationships and the narcissist energy in this world. It's just like, because the minute you engage, you're just pulled into their world. And now you're participating in the energy of the monster, and you are the monster, And the whole deal right now is us realizing, humanity, you're not the monster. We've been infected but it's time to clean house. And maybe that's the Black Moon Lilith, right? Like the best word to fit the Black Moon Lilith energy, especially through this Mars retrograde, is the shame. Now, where do we carry shame? And shame is typically deeply hidden in the psyche, and we all have it for our own reasons, right? But humanity has also been programmed with shame. You know, when, say, sexual energy, which is, you know, in its pure form, it's just energy. It's a powerful energy. It's a concentrated life force, right? And then that was demonized, you know, and then energies that are truly evil took over and said that they were God and spiritual and pure, and we're just messed up. You know, we're messed up from this, and we got to get this rearranged. It's like this crossed wire of demonizing life force and, you know, calling evil pure in the structures of religion, you know, it's like demo. We got to demo it, right? We got to tear it down. It's like you cannot rebuild that building and have a healthy world, you know? So what needs to come to light? What needs to come to the surface for us to be able to shed this skin, this programming, this filth, this shame, this distortion, right? And it's like maybe each of us having to go into those places in our own basement, our own deep, dark, dungeony basement, and extricate, save that child within, save that purity within your soul. Go get it, go hold it, go love it, go be present. And, you know, that's one of the powerful energies that I've been shown, like, you know, as more truths come out about deeply distorted things in our world, like especially the light worker soul, sensitive, empath, supernova soul carries collective energy around this distortion, the shame energy. And when it comes to light, the truth of like what's actually shameful in this world, like this dark monster distortion filth stuff that needs to get cleaned up, these souls are going to feel so redeemed. Like, you know, like, yes, we all have our shame. We all have our hidden places. We all have our regrets. We all have our like, but compared to like these unconscious monstery infection energies that have been ruling our planet since Atlantean time. So it's like, it's good to keep in perspective that this has been going on for thousands of years. You know, it's not new. Now we have to look at it, and it's really not fun, but it's like a great redemption is coming for the sensitive soul. This, you know, because it's like you've been demonized, you've been cast aside, you've been rejected by this planet again and again through your lifetimes, but there's a place in you as an advanced soul. Like the reason why you've been like, it's been so intense for you is partly because you have a purified astral body when you came to Earth, you know, evolution. So it's like, there's a part of you that it can be kind of distorted and twisted and covered up, but it can't actually be corrupted, you know, and that's where these souls need to stand up in the purity, in the life force, and the claiming back of the true healthy human condition, and demonstrate this and be present in this and receive this redemption, receive this purification of your inner child, and save that child. A lot of people are really, it's a really hard time the more it comes to light about what's happening on our planet in these dark, distorted places, and then feeling like you can't do anything to help. And I guess this is the message for us. You know, be your own Saint Christopher. Go save your innocence and your child and redeem your soul. Pick it up out of the gutter, you know, and love that inner child and receive back that purity. Now, so nothing at all like what I plan to talk about, but apparently it's on the table. And I guess it's like really the shame energy that the Black Moon Lilith is bringing up is what keeps us from feeling like we deserve the life force and these new energies and heaven on earth that we're creating and being a part of creating and stepping into once we feel worthy of it. And so I guess that's everything, because right now Mars is at 19 degrees in exact square to Jupiter at 19 degrees for the next few days. Like I said, very significant in the next phase of this journey because it's the first of these Mars transits. And Black Moon Lilith is at 21. So Mars is going to be coming up on Black Moon Lilith. Jupiter just passed Black Moon Lilith. It's still retrograding back. And so it's a dance, and we just need to keep, the message is like, whoa, it's dynamic. This is very different energy, right? The other things that are telling us about this different energy is that on Wednesday, Mercury moves into the sign of Leo. So very powerful retrograde in Cancer. It's been quite a long time in Cancer, and now boom, over into Leo. The sun's in Leo. And this Aquarius full moon activating those Leo energies, the Leo sun, and this expression, this fire, this gumption to get up and keep going on the journey. But it's definitely like, okay, at least it's different energy than what we've been in for the last 4 months. Okay. Because Mercury out of Cancer in Leo, right? Now we're going to be like, okay, because the Cancer energy is about mother and receiving and nurturing and compassion and unconditional love. And then moving into Leo, it's like the light, right? It's like receiving the light of who we are and being present in God consciousness, expressing creativity and joy. And so it's about, claim that, grab a hold of it. We need it after 4 months of the dark night of the soul. Now, Venus, Venus is still in Gemini, but it's out of retrograde shadow. It's completed its final transit with Neptune. And now that later this week, Venus is coming into a conjunction with the North Node in Gemini. So this is powerful, because when Venus started this whole retrograde thing, the North Node was, the nodes were just shifting from Cancer, the North Node from Cancer into Gemini. And so this is a very epic moment where the goddess is, so Mercury's having a triumphant move over into Leo, like, out of the emotional sensitivity and going back into our early childhood with that Mercury retrograde. And so Mercury shifting into Leo, Venus conjuncting the North Node. And when that means it's opposing the South Node, right? And it's like just bringing this, the nodes of the moon have this energy of our path forward and what's holding us back and timelines and destiny. And so Venus conjunct the North Node is the feminine, a triumphant shift in the feminine and in our desires, our loves, our wants, our needs, our values, a new direction in our life, and aligning with the cosmos, with that South Node coming close to the galactic center. So the cosmic goddess is being reborn, realigning. We had to go through the dark night to get on a better path, on a higher timeline. And now it's time to step onto that. And it's so wild how everything lines up with that. Uranus and Taurus T-square to the full moon being like, you got to feel worthy of it. What if the abundant blessings are trying to shower into your life, and how do you graciously receive that? You can't really do it with all that shame, which is what Black Moon Lilith is saying to us. And it's interesting because Black Moon Lilith and Aries, with all this interaction with Aries and Mars, it's like, it's really pointing to that concept that I guess is really important, because I'm coming back to it, that the program shame goes back to programming of shame around life force, And that's the mechanism that the control energies have used since Atlantean time to keep us as slaves. And this is all coming up. Aries wants to break free from the chains. Aries wants freedom, and Mars is our warrior. So this is a spiritual warrior getting off the battlefield, claiming life force. And that requires that we clear these dark programmings of shame, like where we've taken this on in our psyche and bought into it. And for the supernova soul, a lot of that, a lot of the shame has to do with past life energies, where you either feel like you failed in your mission or you hurt other people with your energy. A lot of times that's programming. And so this is all on the table. And this Mars retrograde in the next chapter of 2020 is like unwrapping an old, it's like unboxing an old hidden mystery. So there's beautiful gifts in there. There's really scary bugs and who knows what hidden deep in the corner of this box, and maybe some mold, and but there's also treasures, right? And we're going to do that. And that's a lot of this Uranus and Taurus. It's like unboxing treasures. Your gifts. Are you worthy? Because the reason why I'm even here doing this, my whole energy of the work I do is focused around helping the supernova soul see who they are in their bigger picture, which is definitely alignment with this Mars activation. And it's like, I've just been shown that, these souls are operating out of necessity because of what's happened to you over lifetime, and the energies on the planet and all of these factors. But you're operating at a tiny sliver of who you are in your power. And, if just a small amount, if just a fraction of these souls come online in their bigger self and in their power, game changer on the planet. It's like we're here to be the front runners in breaking the chains and stepping through. And yet, as we get closer and the energies are, the big cosmic energies are supporting us, the control energies are clamping down. And then it gets really hard to see, like this whole Venus retrograde and mutable signs and with Neptune transits. And I was like, I can't even tell what's good, what's bad, what I want, what I don't want, what's helping me, what's hurting me. And maybe that's the place we need to get to. This is a big message coming through too. It's just that, like, when you get to the edge about to step over and these forces are just constantly pulling you back from that, and then the fear programming and whatever else is coming up, there's an energy of this, trying to find feeling worthy of it, being that front runner, that you have to, nobody's there to support you because you're supposed to lead the way, right? And just, it's like everything that's going to come up. This is what Rudolf Steiner talked about as a guardian of the threshold. And this is a lot of the Saturn energy, and especially coming up right now at these end degrees of Capricorn and retrograding back into these end degrees. Saturn is the last visible planet. It is the ruler of Capricorn. So it's the last visible planet that we can see, and it represents this like guardian, right? But once you break through and you see the truth and you exist and you establish and stabilize, like this full moon is asking us, trying to support us in doing, is feeling worthy enough to stabilize in these new energies, then that lower battle falls away, right? And it's like people are in this, these supernova souls are in this dance right now. But when those souls, what I've been shown is that when these souls step over and come into and embody this bigger truth of who they are, I mean, this is what changes. This is what moves our energy on the planet, no pressure. But no wonder it's so intense, right? And then the power of us coming together and establishing and stabilizing, and our permission and our, it's a lot of times it's like the mental control energy that we're trying to break free from, which I think isn't a good energy with Mercury moving into Leo, is about this programming that says it's not even possible. You're just making it up. That's just silly. There's no new earth. There's no spiritual awakening. And you'll find yourself, even though you fully have been living from this truth for a big part of your life, you'll find yourself being like, oh, it's hopeless. It's just get me through this life, get me off this planet. That's the control energies. And they're coming just, like just knowing that they bloom and grab a hold of you, and the monster, just the closer you get to stepping over and establishing yourself. But when you establish yourself and your light into these higher frequency vibration, that light is its own protection. So that's kind of the energy of Mercury moving into Leo and the sun in Leo and this Aquarius full moon. Again, just such a powerful time, and the goddess lining up with her destiny. The goddess is like the galactic goddess is reborn on the planet in this triumphant lining up with the nodes. And she's like, oh yeah, whew, that's what we're doing here, not wallowing around in the dark corners, trying to heal from the darkness. Let's go ahead and be in the light and let the darkness work itself out. So thanks so much for being here, and hang in there. It's a potent and powerful time. Just try to be present as much as possible with these energies, because so much is trying to shift. And that's the big picture I'm being shown right now. It's just like you guys have no perspective of what's going on, and that's okay. But keep perspective on that you don't have perspective on how big this is. These dramatic, I'm seeing people just drop their stories, just bam, that they've worked on for 20 years, right? And that is available for you as well. Especially when we work together as a group. So thank you so much for being here, being present with us, being a part of the Supernova Soul Tribe as a great way to support this work, support this movement, and support each other on the journey. So I look forward to seeing you there, and maybe you'd like to join. I better get going in 9 minutes of this live activation for the Aquarius full moon. So I look forward to seeing you there or on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.